Von Allen Sports. Von Allen Sports.
Let's go. How was that?
Awesome. Great main event.
Great night for sports.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just in general, MMA and VAS, both.
Watching football at the same time as watching the fights. You had to go back between the two screens, man.
Hell yeah. All right, let's see here. So we're gonna tonight we're gonna cover the main event of the UFC, and also we're gonna talk about the Packers 49ers. Crazy game, unbelievable. I'm still just in shock. So how you guys doing? Let's see here. We got 52 on right now. That's awesome, guys. Thank you for being up late with us. So we'll just get this out of the way. I'm 2-0 tonight on MMA fights. I only picked 2 MMA fights. I'm 1-1 in football. So I picked the Bengals to beat the Titans. I got that correct. I picked the Packers to beat the 49ers and got that one wrong, obviously. So I'm 3-1 today. That's not too bad. Not too bad.
No.
Against Brandon Moreno and Figueredo, I picked Figueredo only because Moreno annoys me. And then in the final, Francis Ngannou defeats Cyril Gane, but in a way that we could not have anticipated. Cyril learned how to wrestle.
Ngannou learned how to wrestle, you're saying.
Oh, yeah. Ngannou learned how to wrestle.
Crazy, man. Didn't expect that. Yeah, first off, I thought it was going to be a one-rounder. And then for 3 rounds, Francis brought him down.
Yep.
First time we've seen that, man. Crazy.
I was wanting to see a big, massive knockout, but that's okay. It's fine.
Yeah. There was a lot of anticipation on that fight. You were on the edge of the seat waiting for that knockout, but it was still really good.
Yeah.
Man, how about that co-main? You like that?
Annoying. I didn't even pay attention. Actually, I was talking to everybody else about the Aaron Rodgers thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now Ngannou will, maybe he fights. You know what? Maybe they should match Cyril and John Jones together as a qualifier match. Yeah.
Well, this talk of Cyril not re-signing with the UFC and going
to
boxing.
Ngannou?
We keep saying the
See,
wrong
we
name.
keep saying the.
There's talk of Ngannou going to boxing and maybe some other organization. Who knows? But we'll see what happens with him. He might not even fight for a while. We don't know yet. We'll see. But I think Cyril Gane would be a great matchup for John Jones.
Yeah. So that'd be a good fight. So
yeah.
Okay, how you guys? Let's see. A lot of people here tonight. What the hell is going on with the Green Bay Packers? Again, number 1 seed. This is what I was telling y'all. The number 1 seed. If you don't know how to prepare, if you don't know how to get your team and keep them focused, that 2 weeks of doing nothing is not good. Especially because in the first week they give their players, a lot of time off, while the coaches are game planning, but the players are kind of chilling and hanging out at home and stuff, and not very sharp. While the other teams in the playoffs, they're going, they're already in, Yes, there is a benefit to having the week off and being able to get healthy, but it's somewhat overrated. A lot of people say that it's important, but I honestly believe coming in hot is still generally the best thing. The reason it worked for the Patriots in the past is because they just knew how to prepare. They knew how to be ready for it and stuff like that. But this is what happened. So both number 1 seeds go down in their first game. Unbelievable. If you're Aaron Rodgers and you're supposed to be considered one of the greatest of all time, and people want to say that you're the GOAT and you're better than Tom Brady and all that stuff, you got to put up more than 10 points at home, especially when you have the advantage. Lambeau Field is no easy place to play. It's legendarily tough for teams to come in and do that. So you've got the advantage just in that sense. But we're also talking about a 49ers team that is from San Francisco. It's not their game. Now, their game is built, it just happens to be built run first, play hard defense. It's ran like that. But the cold weather elements and stuff changes things, and that's something the Packers should be used to. And the whole game, they looked like kind of out of sync. It almost looked like it was the 49ers who was more used to playing the weather. It was so weird. But 10 points, I'm sorry. Anybody who's going to talk about, the special teams, let a punt get blocked for a touchdown. Okay, well, how about this? Maybe you should have got a first down and kept the drive alive. You're the quarterback. You hold the ball more than anyone. You touch the ball more than anyone, and you have more control over the game than anybody else. You've got to. The punt block is not his fault technically. Okay, I get that, but you keep the drive alive, keep it going. How many chances did they have? It just blows my mind. I mean, the 49ers didn't play that great either. I'm not especially impressed by either team, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, whatever. I mean, I know we tried to watch both, or you missed some of the football game.
But the punt block, they didn't have much field position in that. He didn't have much room to do the punt. Is that what happened? He was right in the end zone, basically. Punting?
No, he had room.
He did.
He had room. Yeah,
he
he
did, okay.
wasn't backed up all the way. He could have. Yeah. So
they just got over and blocked it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of mistakes in Green Bay's part. So basically, even teams. It sounds stupid, but even teams think of punting and extra points and field goals and things like that. They take it for granted. The blocking schemes and the lining up and all those things have to be drilled into these guys' heads. You have to take them seriously. You can't just stand there and assume things are automatic. A lot of these guys get out there and on a punt team and they think, okay, we're going to block, because blocks don't happen that often. And then you get lazy, you get sloppy, okay? And the reason I think this may be coaching too, or some of it's coaching, because in the very last play of the game, the field goal, the game-winning field goal, I believe the Packers only had 10 guys on the field to block that field goal. 10 guys on the field. I think if there was one guy, if there was an 11th guy, I didn't see him, or he wasn't in position yet. But if that's the case, that's a bad coaching mistake right there, and you've got to know.
How does that happen? Yeah, you think that wouldn't happen, especially in a game like that,
That's how it is. That's what separates good coaches from bad coaches. Or I would say good from bad coaches, but that separates the
best,
the elite.
The elite, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So see, legendary coaches would not make mistakes like that. His field goal team would know. Yeah. They would already know what to do, where he doesn't even have to say it.
Exactly.
It's just they know. And again, it's
especially when everything's on the line in a position like that. I mean, that's like you said, that's the elite. They don't crack under the pressure.
Yeah,
it makes a difference.
Exactly. So, it's just, again, I'm just blown away that they couldn't put up more than 10 points. And it's not because I don't think that 49ers are a good team, guys. It's not that. It's just Green Bay should have won. Okay? It was theirs. It was theirs for the taking. Even before the game started, it's a game that they should have won as far as the matchup goes. Everything was going in their favor. But it also shows you how overrated basically precision stats are and efficiency stats. And what I mean by that is ratios, like touchdown to interception ratio. You got to look at when those happen and why they happen. And there's all kinds of different angles about that. And, do you have game-winning drives? Do you come up big when it matters? And the problem is the regular season can't tell us these things a lot of times. So many times there's a guy who's the MVP of the regular season and then just does nothing in the playoffs. It happens so often because there's more metrics involved than just looking at, he's got a touchdown interception ratio. Oh my God, it's so great. Okay, what else? What else is there? And, he had no torque. No. What happened to his torque? I just want to say that how many times, guys, I don't know if this is actually, you're able to look this up. It's probably not easy to look up. But is this how many times has a quarterback had the number 1 seed? Or how about this? How many times has a quarterback had a bye in the playoffs? So number 1 or number 2 seed before last year. And still only has 1 Super Bowl appearance to show for it. That has got to be some kind of record. I mean, honestly, that's insane. So
You're saying that it happens a lot or it doesn't happen?
And you should. When you've got that many buys in the playoffs for that many years.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so how many times you're bound to just get lucky.
Right.
Just something. You're bound to make it to the Super Bowl. Not even win it, just get it there. And that's why I still hold Favre in such high regard. Also, as far as Packers quarterbacks go, and I see the guys are talking about it in the comment section. Favre still has one thing over Rodgers that, Rodgers people would have to answer for, and that is that Brett Favre took his team to 2 Super Bowls. So he got them there. He lost the second one, but he got them there. And that, to me, is important. That is, winning. That means you had to win to get to the Super Bowl. And unlike a lot of stupid mouth-breathing idiots, a lot of Joe Montana fans who always say, oh, well, Joe Montana being 4-0 in Super Bowl is better than Tom Brady's 7-3. Okay, so apparently Joe is being rewarded for failing to go to the Super Bowl 6 less times than Tom Brady. So somehow that's a bad thing, I guess. So losing before you get to the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, but that doesn't make any sense. And that's what I'm saying is getting there is still an achievement. It's actually, check this out. From week 1, from the time the season starts to the time you get to the Super Bowl, it's actually more difficult to get to the Super Bowl, to actually get there, than to win the Super Bowl. Okay? Because you have to have all that combined to get that far. And then the Super Bowl is just, it's a pick'em, pick'em game. I mean, both teams are good, generally speaking. Both teams are great. And it's anybody's game at that time for 3.5 hours. Anybody can win it, right?
Yeah.
But all that work through the regular season to make the playoffs, then to get and beat all those people in the playoffs to get that far, that's an achievement right there.
Brady has seven rings?
7 rings out of 10.
And they say because he lost 3 times, even though he won 7, they're saying that 4-0 is better. That's absolutely absurd.
They're saying Montana being 4-0 and so he's undefeated.
That's you can't even argue. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's absurd.
It's just mind-numbingly idiotic. And
well, it's very similar to the calling Khabib in MMA the GOAT because he was undefeated when he retired, but he only had 3 title defenses. Yeah, he was undefeated, but he didn't keep going. Come on.
No, 3 title defenses. I'm sorry, but that's weak, dude. That's weak. I don't know.
But he never lost.
But he never lost. Yeah. He's undefeated. He's never. Yeah.
Same mentality.
It's same mentality. It's stupid, and people, they latch on to, certain little sayings that they hear people in the media say. People like this idiot Stephen A. Smith, who's on TV right now. Look, they got Stephen A. talking about MMA.
Yep.
Huh. All right. So they hear little things like this guy and others say these things, and then they just kind of go with them. And repeat them. They don't even know what it means half the time. But this is a disaster. It's a disaster for Green Bay. And guys, I'm just going to call it now and get it out of the way. I think that's the last time you saw Aaron Rodgers play in a Green Bay Packers uniform. So I can't keep up with your camera shot.
What's that?
I'm trying to get it right here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. What team do I think Aaron Rodgers will go to? Well, he said something in the postgame tonight. He said, I don't want to be part of a rebuild. So that what does that mean exactly? Does he think that Green Bay is about to, tear apart their team and try to start over again with young guys and stuff? I mean, was that like a thinly veiled shot at the Packers organization? I'm not sure, but that's kind of weird, right? So
Yeah, what else couldn't have meant with a new team, really, right? It had to
he definitely meant
with the
that he
Packers.
wants to go with an established a team that's already got everything kind of. He saw Brady do the same thing
Right.
at the end of his career.
Right.
I don't think he's staying in Green Bay. There's not much more he can do.
How many more years do you think he has?
I think he's got 2 good years left.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think he goes to a team. Honestly, if he really wants that, he's got to go to somewhere that's better or better than the Packers. And we all know they went, as much as there's, a lot of Aaron Rodgers hate going on in the chat here. And I get it, totally get it. That's understandable. I just want to point out though that there were a lot of the reasons why the Packers were 13-3, and there were a lot of the reasons why they had a bye, and they've been in the NFC Championship game for the last few years. It's because of him. So the moment he goes away, the Packers become mediocre, and that's just the truth. Okay, you cannot lose a Hall of Fame, MVP quarterback and expect to just keep rolling. So wherever he goes, he instantly makes them much better. I know there's rumors of Pittsburgh and Denver. I don't like Denver for him. I think that would be a mistake. If he's going to go to Denver, he should just stay in Green Bay. I think that's a lateral move. It may even be a worse move. So I don't know. I'd have to really think about it. In fact, that'd be a good subject matter for next week's show, I think. So, I mean, I would say come to New England. But that wouldn't work because I don't even know if we can fit him under the cap now. And who's he going to throw to? We spent all this money and we still ain't got that good of an offense. So, yeah, doesn't work. Ryan Dyer. Let's go. Ryan Dyer sends a $5 super chat. He says, worst loss ever. Many dark days ahead. Yeah, Ryan, man, I mean, it's shock. I'm shocked too. Honestly, I'm shocked. However, this loss is good for Tom, Roman. This is good for Tom's Bucks because now they're the highest seed left in the playoffs. Meaning, if they beat the Rams tomorrow, they get the championship game at home. And so the 49ers will have to go to Tampa Bay. But that's a big if. Okay, tomorrow is not going to be easy. Tomorrow's game is going to be very difficult. And this is not an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. The Rams match up pretty well against the Bucks as far as that goes. It's very similar to how the Packers and 49ers match well together.
Right.
It seems like the Packers should overwhelm the 49ers, but 49ers just have that kind of game. And I think the Rams match up pretty good with the Bucks as well. So the Bucks are going to have to be on their A game tomorrow. It is not going to be simple. I told you guys this last night too, that don't think that this is going to be a walkover. It's not. It's just going to be difficult. So thank you so much, Ryan. That's badass of you to pay $5 when your team just lost. I think that's really, really badass. So thank you, man. So you got stuck. He kind of got tonight with talking football and
Mate, well, you have to. It's the playoffs, man. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's.
I would be chiming in more. I just don't. I'm learning quickly from you though. I haven't watched a lot of football over the last many years. I've watched it, years ago, and I'm getting caught up though. I'm starting hanging around you. I'm learning it very quickly. So.
Yep, you are learning fast, actually.
Yeah. So I might be asking a lot of questions that sound like simple questions.
That's
but,
fine. That's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
That's good. But, you've been good luck for us. Every time you've come over for a Tom Brady game, he's
Yeah.
won, right? He's undefeated when you've come over, right?
So you need me to come over tomorrow?
I need you to come over tomorrow, please, if you can. I
Yeah.
know that we need you.
Yeah.
Everybody in the chat needs you. They're all, hoping. So I also shout out to Seth Maxwell. He's in our Facebook group. I don't even know if he's watching the show or not, but I don't even know if he does. But anyway, shout out to him. He said that the Packers were going to go all the way to the Super Bowl, and it was a lock. And he bet my brother Steven $25 that wouldn't happen, or that would happen. Steven said, no, that won't happen. The Packers will lose. Before even getting there, I guess that was the bet. And the Packers lost tonight. Seth promptly paid Steven $25 within 10 minutes of the game ending. So props to him. I just want to say that because a lot of people don't pay their bets. They pay the bets off when people get emotional on the internet and they say, oh, I'll bet you $20, I'll bet you $30, and then they don't pay, and so props to him for paying off. That's cool. So, but what do you think is next? What's left now for Ngannou? Who in the heavyweight division can he face now?
Well, it's got to be. We got to see Jones come back. That's got to be the fight, man.
What if they can't get that scheduled? You've got to give Ngannou a title defense, right? So,
yeah, he already beat Derek Lewis, right?
Yeah. So I just don't know who's next.
But he beat Derek Lewis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat Derek Lewis, and I'm gonna look at the rankings. I don't even know.
Let's see. Yeah.
We already seen Stipe. He beat the last time, right? Derek Lewis, Curtis Blades is 4. I think he already beat him. He's beat all these. Alexander Volkov beat him.
We got some recommendations. So Sport Memer said Stipe rematch first. That's interesting. That could be interesting. That could be really interesting, especially with Ngannou's new added dimension, or kind of an added dimension.
Because that was his weakness on their first fight. Stipe was taking him down, and he was just he couldn't do anything. Now he was bringing, and he even flipped that one. Gagne got him down. Cyril Gane got him down, and he flipped it over and got on top. So he wasn't able to do that with Stipe on the first fight. So it seems like he added a whole other element to his game, which is awesome.
But has Stipe won recently, or is that's what I would look at?
Yeah,
if he's even deserving of it.
Let me see.
Let's see. Mike Miller says Ngannou versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Brock over.
Is it? Yeah, I mean, okay, that'd be interesting. Let's see. Jason said that Lewis won. I didn't realize. Okay.
Yeah, that was the people call the most boring heavyweight fight ever, I believe.
That's the one. I thought Ngannou won that.
It was a 5-round, nothing happened fight. Yeah, I think it was one guy threw 10 punches, one threw 11. That was probably the extent of it. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's taken out most of these top guys, man. Stipe's number 2. I don't know if it changes after tonight's victory, but Stipe was number 2 ranked heavyweight going into tonight. So,
all right. Well, if he had lost fights recently, then he wouldn't be ranked number 2. So that clearly.
Let's just see Jones. Let's get Jones. Jones has got to get in there. He's been out too long, man. That's gonna be the fight to make.
I just don't know if I think that if John. We don't know.
Yeah.
So
there's also talk of this might be his last fight potentially because he wants to go to boxing and get the Tyson Fury fight.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I think he has to sit out a year before he could do that because he's still under contract.
Sport Memer says, I think as a former champion, you deserve an automatic rematch. Uh-oh.
I think that's what Jason thinks too, right?
Uh-oh. If only Jason was on tonight.
Yeah.
Only Jason was on tonight. Jason, get him.
We had a whole 2-hour conversation
We had
about that
two-
last one.
We had a massive 2-hour debate last month over that.
And we were only talking about the exceptions deserved. I thought like somebody like Amanda Nunes who defended the title numerous times, or like an Anderson Silva, somebody like that maybe deserved it, but I don't agree. If somebody only has in this case, I don't agree.
Yeah. And exactly, Mike. John Jones is undefeated. He
Yes.
is absolutely undefeated.
Absolutely.
I don't even talk to me about that one loss. It's just stupid, And he was disqualified. That I think in your record that should count as no contest or something else. It needs to go in the third column.
Yeah. No, that ref was eventually fired from being an awful ref. So
yeah. Jason says best 4 out of 7.
yes.
So
4 out of 7.
yeah. Oh man, that's funny. So, Jalen, what you still think you were right about? What I don't know what you mean. Which part? Or what are you referring to?
He was the one who called in last time, right? Was Jalen the one who called in?
Oh, he did.
He was arguing with Jason about that.
Yeah.
That Amanda Nunes
That's
deserved
right.
the title
That-
shot.
That's right.
That's what he's talking about, I believe.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
That was a fun night actually. Until Ramsey's
Oh my God. What an ending to a
Ramsey's
show.
cut us off. He hit the main power button.
All the screens, everything goes off. Yeah.
Everything. The computers get shut down improperly. It's like the power went out.
Like the cat was sick of us arguing for 2 hours. That was funny.
Yeah. So he shut us down. Of course, I fixed that now. You can't do that anymore. Jason said Nunes quit America top team. All right. Let's see. I know I'm going back and forth, guys. I'm just all over the place, but I'm kind of taking it as people comment. So, yeah. So, Ryan, you want to call me sometime and debate on why Rodgers is better than Favre. You're a Packers fan. Absolutely. I know, yeah, you said you can't do it tonight. I more than welcome you to call the show, and we can definitely go over that. I'll defend Favre, and you will defend Rodgers, and I think that would be a lot of fun. I think people would be interested in that. That would be really cool to do. So, absolutely. You let me know. You email us. Let us know when you want to do it, and we'll schedule it for whatever show's coming up. Just email us at vonallensports@icloud.com, and we'll definitely get that going. That'll be awesome.
Someone mentioned Colby Covington. That's UFC 272. I'm looking forward for that one.
Yeah.
That's gonna be him versus Masvidal. They've been going back and forth for years now.
Yeah,
they used to be roommates. They had a falling out. They supposedly hate each other. And it seems like it's a real feud, So they finally scheduled that one. They've been talking about it. So I can't wait for all the lead up on that one, man.
Yeah.
I don't even know who I'm going for on that. I like both guys.
I'm going for Masvidal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. It's some of these fights I go into like that where I'm like, man, I just want to see a good fight because I like both guys. So.
Corey Bynum asked me an interesting question. He said, "Do I think Patrick Mahomes is now ahead of Rodgers in quarterback rankings? He's already had more playoff success in his short term as starter. Are you referring to all time? I'm assuming that's what you're referring to, or like lately, last few years, or usually people mean all time, but not quite. I doubt it. I don't expect Mahomes to rank higher than Rodgers. You got to keep in mind that Rodgers is about to have his 4th MVP, most likely, and that goes a long way. And even though Rodgers has had some problems and he's not been able to get to the Super Bowl, he's going to rack up a lot of points with playoff experience and playoff games. He does have a lot of that. A lot of, like I said, number 1, number 2 seeds, things of that nature. He's overall career being in the top 5 in all kinds of statistical categories consistently. He's just got way more volume than Patrick. But if Patrick stays on his trajectory that we expect him to be on, then it's quite possible. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, Patrick's already done so much in his first 4 years, and I'm counting right now, even before tomorrow night's game, he's already got his team back into the divisional round. His first year, he's MVP, goes all the way to the AFC Championship game, loses to the GOAT. That's perfectly understandable. That's a very honorable thing to lose to the greatest quarterback of all time. The next year, he goes all the way to the Super Bowl and wins it. The year after that, he goes all the way to the Super Bowl again, and then loses again to the GOAT. So, again, honorable, that's understandable. And now he's got his team back in the divisional round. So, absolutely, he's had some really quick playoff success. So I understand that part of it. But like I said, I just think he'd fall short when it comes to volume and career length. And tomorrow, Roman, if you come over, you'll see Patrick Mahomes play tomorrow night.
Okay.
If you stay for the Bills-Chiefs game.
Yeah.
Both games are going to be good. If you're getting into football right now, these are the games to watch. This is the premier. A lot of people just think that tomorrow's winners are the Super Bowl matchup. So whoever that was kind of the idea. I'm not trying to. I understand why they would say that. But these games are going to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably reasonable. I would say because if the Rams can beat the Bucks, I know the 49ers have beaten the Rams during the regular season, but the Rams can take out the Bucks tomorrow. They've got a good chance of probably taking out the 49ers, which I hope not. I'd be definitely going for the 49ers. And then whoever between the Bills and Chiefs, they're going to absolutely destroy the Bengals. The Bengals are done. I hope they. I picked them for this today, but no, it's over. It's over next week for them. So. Let's see here.
You were talking about Stipe. Stipe's last 5 fights were all between Daniel Cormier and Francis Ngannou. Isn't that crazy? 5 fights between 2 guys.
That's
3 Cormier and 2.
That's a gauntlet.
Yeah, but he won his last 2. He lost his last fight was actually against Francis, which he lost. That was his last one. His 2 before that were Daniel Cormier wins.
Yeah.
So.
Huh. Well, those are some. Those fights are hardcore. I mean, even losing in those fights is not that bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because the level, like in our MMA formula that we did for the documentary we got coming up, that just being in those title fights against high-ranking guys is you're scoring points.
Yeah, exactly. You're talking to
it's
the best of the best,
Right. It's very similar to our Super Bowl, our quarterback formula, where going to Super Bowl is going to get you some points, and you're going to score it because it matters. It totally does. So let's see here. I want to do. I'm trying to find something. There's something I was going to address here, but let's see. I guess I can't find it.
What you looking for?
Corey Bonham says, I think the winner of the Rams at Bucks won. Okay. I guess I lost it. Oh, okay. You want to debate who's harder? It's harder to win with the worst GM ever or the worst coach ever, because if you are right about Bruce, Brady's done both. Well, Belichick's not the worst GM ever. He's the worst picker of offensive players ever. But I trust him to get special teams and defense all day long. So we talked about this last night, I think, where they should have kept Nick Caserio and Tom, and let them pick out the offense. So Yeah, I mean, Austin Thomas, Aaron Rodgers is now 0-4 against the 49ers in the playoffs. That's not good. This was the team that when he was drafted and they skipped on him, he said they're going to regret
That's
not
the
picking
team.
me. And they beat him again.
That's 4 times.
It's 4 times.
That's funny.
So, yeah. So I'd like to know how they're going to spin this, especially if Tom beats the Rams tomorrow. There's so many people. And Roman, I'm just, you said you're learning about all this, right? There's this thing where the media loves Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes, and they like to say that they're the best, and all stuff. And it's mind-numbingly stupid. Like, how would you even? It's ridiculous. It's like trying to say that a guy who wins the belt one time is greater than John Jones, who's won the belt 10 times. Because each time you defend the belt, it's a win. You're winning the championship again. That's the same thing. It's
right.
It's like when you win the Super Bowl more than one time. You're not, So it's still the same.
Right.
And imagine how dumb that would be, because the guy's got one championship belt, but he's flashy in the ring, and all that crap. They think, oh, he's the best because of what we see, because it's flashy. It's just stupid. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it'd be like calling Conor McGregor the greatest fighter of all time. Yeah, it's not. He's awesome, most entertaining maybe, but he's not the greatest, by a long shot.
My brother Stephen Allen asked, do I think Matthew Slater will retire? It kind of sounded like it when I saw his post-game interview. It gave me that vibe. I think he will, yeah. See, one thing, guys, one thing that I think about Tom is that winning a Super Bowl this year is important, because it would guarantee that he comes back next year. All right? And it's one thing I've thought about here. I think he's going to come back no matter what. But if he wins the Super Bowl this year, it will guarantee he'll come back, and they'll be on fire, because that means they would have won 2 in a row. The last time 2 Super Bowls in a row were won was 2003 to 2004. Guess by who?
Patriots.
The Patriots and Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So it's that hard to do.
That's really the last. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
Exactly. However, why would he come back again? To go for the 3-peat.
It ever happened?
It's never been done.
No.
It's never been done.
Wow.
So if there's one thing left for Tom Brady to do, it's to 3-peat. And he would definitely come back for that. There's no way he's going to hang it up after 2 in a row. So he's got to win the Super Bowl this year. It's got to happen, because we got to see that. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but I'm just saying, though, he at least has got to come back to try to make that happen, right?
There'll still be people saying that he's not the greatest.
I know. You can't win with these idiots. You just can't win.
Yeah.
So, but just to remind you guys, for tomorrow's games, I picked Bucks over Rams and Bills over Chiefs. And no, that was not wishful thinking. I just think the Bills are playing more inspired football, and the Chiefs might be a little stale. They might be used to winning, and I don't know if they're still going to keep that same kind of energy and focus. It will be in Kansas City, but I don't think that seems to be a problem for Buffalo in general. They seem to, wherever they're at, they are who they are, and it doesn't make much of a difference. So I don't think you're missing much as far as Stephen A. Smith talking.
No.
He doesn't know anything about anything. He's this dude's basically got his own show. He got the other guy fired off of First Take, Max Kellerman, who was actually an expert at boxing and much more intelligent than him. But he got him fired off the show, and now the show is complete trash.
Stephen A. you talking about?
Yeah.
Well, you saw it happen when he did the one MMA fight, UFC fight, right?
Yeah.
Joe Rogan and him.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan
it's
talked
embarrassing.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. We have a super chat from Israel. And there's our awesome music. creepy little super chat music. All right. Israel sends a $5 super chat and says, Rodgers is now one of 2 quarterbacks to ever have 2 one-and-done games in the playoffs as the number 1 seed. He was very subpar tonight, embarrassing. MVP curse prevails. Yep, it's still alive. The MVP curse. So what happens is that when a quarterback wins the MVP, he always loses in the playoffs and can never win the Super Bowl and the MVP in the same year. The last time this has happened was 1999 with Kurt Warner. Peyton Manning won 5 MVPs and still couldn't do it. Tom Brady has won 3 MVPs, still couldn't do it. And Aaron Rodgers was about to win his 4th MVP, still couldn't do it. However, in the years that Tom was MVP, 2 out of those 3 years, he went to the Super Bowl. So he took his team to the Super Bowl 2 out of 3 times. So at least his MVP mattered.
Right.
That to his credit, right? So there's always that. And I believe Peyton did it too. I believe Peyton took his team to a Super Bowl 2 times when he was MVP. I think it was 09 and 13, if memory serves me correctly. OC Reed Gaming, it's not been officially announced, but he got the first team All-Pro. So we're just going to assume that he probably won MVP. Thomas, I don't know that he's going to be MVP, but it just seems like a foregone conclusion. Usually the MVP is gets the number 1 All-Pro as well. So we have another super chat. Take a pick, 1313. What's up, Donnie? He sends a $5 super chat and says, all 4 defenses played really well today. When Aaron first introduced us to you, Roman, I checked out your band and I really liked your music.
Awesome. Thank you.
Nice.
Anybody watching Professional Murder Music? It's my band. I sing for that band. You can check us out, Spotify or any of the streaming sources. Check it out. We just released a new song yesterday, actually. It'll be on Spotify, YouTube, any of those. So.
Good lyrics, by the way. Great lyrics. I love them. Why would Rodgers come back to Green Bay? Well, familiarity, good situation. I mean, it's a pretty good situation, right? I mean, it's not. They're getting consistently. They're winning a lot. Maybe not in playoffs, but I mean, they're getting back there, so your chances are increased. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to look into what teams might be good for him. I'm going to really give him a close look on fit and the coaching fit and things like that. And on next Friday, next show will be Saturday night because it'll be Championship Sunday. So on next week's Saturday night show, Milena, we're gonna try to answer that question. Sound good?
Yes.
Like we're gonna try to fit Aaron Rodgers into certain teams. And see where he'd go and see what everyone else thinks too. We'll turn it into some kind of game. It'll be fun. So all right. Let's see here. All right, Jason wants me to check out John Jones' Twitter feed. I'm gonna get. I'm sure it's probably worth checking out. So. Hey Roman, while I'm looking this up, if you want to mention anything, that's fine. So, about
what's next? UFC 271.
Yeah.
Israel Adesanya versus.
I love him.
Yeah, who's he?
Yeah.
It's fighting. What's his name? Let me pull it up here.
Starting to like that music.
Yeah.
I didn't add it. It just happened.
Yeah. Israel Adesanya versus Whitaker, number 2. That's gonna be a good one, man. I love Adesanya, man. He's exciting. He's the new Anderson Silva to me. He's gonna be. He's not quite yet, but I give him another few years.
Yeah. He did pretty good in our formula for being so young.
Oh yeah. Give him another few years, he'll be up there with Jones. He has what? How many defenses did he have? It must have been 5 or so.
Yeah.
Around there. Yeah, 4 or 5. Yeah, and that's going to be our next show actually, and that's on February 12th. So that'll be our next MMA show.
I'm looking at John's Twitter. I don't see anything too shocking though. What is it that you were referring to?
Anything about him fighting Ngannou?
Not really.
No.
Just yeah. Maybe I missed it. Maybe it was a reply to somebody or something. Also trending on Twitter, NFL fans compare the careers of Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady after the Packers quarterback season ended with an NFC Championship loss to the 49ers. Huh? Yeah, that was a divisional, dude. Whoever wrote that article. Whatever. So we have some more super chats tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you, Donnie, and thank you for checking that out. And Roman's band, Professional Murder Music, is how we met. So I was a big fan of the band.
Yeah.
20 years ago. It was. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was probably like 19 at the time.
Yeah.
So,
you were at my show, I think. You just happened to see us. We're opening for Orgy, I believe, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Orgy, yeah, one of my favorite bands of all time.
Yeah. And we, I started producing Aaron's music, and we became friends. And
I lived with you for a little while. Because you have a studio at your house. But that's how I ended up in LA, guys. That's exactly. And if I didn't meet Roman,
that's true.
If I didn't meet Roman, I never would have. He never would have produced my my album, and so that wouldn't have brought me to LA. And if I didn't come to LA, I don't meet Milena.
Yeah.
So you guys wouldn't know Milena either.
It's funny how one little thing could change your whole course of life.
I would have told you you're spending so much time on sport anyway. I don't know.
Oh, it was your idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, so guys, Milena is actually the reason why we have Von Allen Sports. And I don't know if I've told this story or not, but for years when we first got together, she saw me blogging and doing different things and arguing with people on the internet about Brady and all the sports. And she saw me, I had a fantasy football league that I was running and making videos for. I put a lot of work into it, you know? And she said, "Why don't you like do something with with this? You spend so much time on it."
You were even doing compilations of like MMA stuff when you lived with me. Remember that? Like I think with Junior. And
yeah,
stuff.
I did. Yeah.
Well, all that. Little did you know that all that work you were just kind of doing for fun would lead to
exactly. I mean, who would have thought, right?
Yeah.
And then I came up. I got tired of the Tom Brady, Joe Montana comparisons and stuff, and all the Tom Brady hate out there. So I came up with a documentary that I thought about doing, and I didn't know how to release it. I didn't have a channel or anything. Didn't know anything about YouTube really. And I showed Milena, and the whole documentary would be like 2.5 hours long, and it was all these points like, could Tom Brady survive in the 1980s? Does Tom Brady always get all the calls and that's why he wins? Or would Bill Belichick rather have Aaron Rodgers instead of Tom Brady? It's all these little different questions. And she told me, these should not be one documentary. Each one should be a separate episode, like a series. I was like, okay, how would I do that? We'll make a channel. So created Von Allen Sports, and the first thing we started with was Brady versus Montana. Brady versus Montana was supposed to be just another episode of the Brady Hate Saga, and but it turned into a big long episode. But yeah, so there wouldn't be this channel at all if Milena hadn't told me to like, hey, why don't you actually like make something work with that? Yeah. So good job, Milena. Or Nefertiti.
Which brings me to talking about your documentaries. We've been working on one on the GOAT of MMA, UFC. You know, and
who is the GOAT?
Very similar to your formula for football, but we took it and put it over to MMA, and it's I think your fans are going to like it. If they like fighting, man, they're going to enjoy how we broke it down. That'll probably be coming out within the next few weeks, I'm guessing.
By the way, you mentioned that I met you when you guys opened for Orgy. back in the Webb Theater in Phoenix, Arizona.
right.
Yeah, 2000.
Right.
I believe it was April of 2000.
I don't remember.
Something like that.
Been
Yeah,
so many shows.
could have been May. I don't know. But anyway, Jay's actually been on the show before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when
He called in or came over?
he did a video call in because
Cool.
I was in Bulgaria, but it was the 49ers versus Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and he's a big
He's a
49ers
49er,
fan.
right?
Yeah.
He told me that.
So
Awesome.
that's just interesting, and
Yeah.
I'd forgotten about that until you mentioned him. So
Little would you have known back then, you would have the singers of both bands on your show.
exactly, I'm a teenager.
Yeah.
I'm going to see you guys play, and both lead singers of both bands
That's awesome.
are on my sports show 20 years later.
You never would have believed it if somebody told you that night. You know what I mean?
I'd be like, what the hell? I have a sports show? Why would
Yeah.
I have a sports show? And why would y'all be on it? Nothing makes any sense. Just shows you, man, that the life is weird, you know.
Yeah. Things definitely don't go as expected sometimes, you know.
We have a $5 super chat from Luke R. He says, if Brady makes the Super Bowl, he will have more playoff wins in his 40s than Rodgers does in his entire career. Wow. And I'll tell you what, to even add to that, Luke, and that's a great stat. Do you know that if Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl this year, he will have more playoff wins than every team in the NFL?
That's crazy.
If he wins the Super Bowl, that will give him one more. I believe the number one team is the New England Patriots, which he is responsible for, of why they're so high up,
Right.
mainly. But he will have one more than them.
What a crazy stat, huh?
Whoa. That doesn't even make
No,
sense.
how's that even possible?
This shouldn't be legal. It should not be allowed. Okay, the things that he's accomplished are just stupid. You know, we're getting in this territory of what?
Right.
Like, why is there an argument here about anything?
Well, I went to on your previous show, like last week, or you mentioned go to your the comment section of the Brady Montana documentary and read those.
Yes, it's
I did. It was I couldn't believe what I was reading. Pure emotion, no facts. These people's comments, you know.
yeah. You writing a novel over there, Milena? You in an argument with someone in the chat? We have another super chat from Donnie. Hell yeah. Thank you, Donnie. He sends a $5 super chat and says, even though they are NFC teams, I think the Saints or San Francisco, and the Saints would be a good pick, and that was one that I had on my mind for Aaron Rodgers to go to. San Francisco would be pretty good, considering that's his childhood team, exactly like Tom Brady. But San Francisco seems to be afraid of having a good quarterback, and they seem to be allergic to it. So I'm not so sure that would happen because they would just screw it up somehow. Russell Curry says, do the GOAT of boxing too. That's a bit more difficult because of all the different weight classes, but I'm always going to go heavyweight anyway.
Yeah.
I think, you know, when it comes to boxing.
Boxing's hard too because it's not a one, you know, it's not like the NFL or UFC where there's really one main. It's so the way the fights are set up, it's so like handpicked by the fighters themselves almost, at least with the top guys, you know what I mean? So it's not so like regulated in that sense.
Yeah. And there's with all those
Wait, yeah.
not divisions, but
Weight
companies.
classes. Oh yeah.
They're different belts.
There's like three,
There's-
4 main ones, you know what I mean? And yeah.
So it's hard to. It reminds me of the soccer stuff. I mean, like there's the Premier League, and then there's the leagues in South America, and then there's the leagues in, you know, I don't know all of them, but there's you got MLS here in America. It's like what's what, who is the undisputed greatest team, and who's the undisputed greatest player, and all. It's very difficult to kind of nail down, but that would be fun. We would need to get a boxing person involved.
Yeah. I love boxing. I just don't.
Yeah.
I haven't followed it the way I have UFC. You know, Speaking of, there's talk of Tyson versus Paul. Not Jake Paul. What's the other dude's name?
Is there a difference?
Jake, whatever. Yeah, the guy who fought Mayweather. Yeah,
Jake Paul. So I
not
think
Jake Paul, but the
it's
other
his
brother.
brother.
Yeah,
I don't know.
whatever. Either way,
Dude, I never even heard of these guys. I never even knew they existed
Yeah.
until the one started fighting.
Yeah.
Boxing against other guys. And,
yeah. But man, I don't see him doing well against Mike Tyson. Tyson's what 54, but man, he just needs. You seen him working out recently on the heavy bag, and he's still got that strength, man. He might not have the cardio, but I think that would be pretty bad for Paul.
I hope he just puts him to sleep.
I
Dude.
think he will.
Logan
Logan
would
Paul.
That would be funny.
That's it.
Logan.
He just posted. Yeah.
Okay.
Logan Paul. That's right. I think it would be a bad day for him as far as it's going to be a huge payday, I'm sure, but it's going to be a quick knockout, I bet.
Membership super chat.
Is it from Ozymandias?
Yeah.
Well, I wonder why the membership super chat doesn't show up in my comment section. That is so weird. I need to ask them about that. Okay. Ozymandias sends a membership super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, can I get an answer to my question of how much is the lease? What is he referring to? Oh, if 49ers don't own Aaron Rodgers, how much is the lease? So he's rent. Are you saying they're renting? Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know because the 49ers get him in the playoffs, but overall, based on what the 49ers have achieved since Aaron Rodgers has been in the league, Aaron still seems to have gotten the better end of the deal as far as career goes. Because the 49ers still haven't won anything. At least Aaron did win a Super Bowl. And Aaron has a lot of MVPs. He brought a lot of good attention and things for the Packers. As where the 49ers have consistently been like dog crap. Except for, there's times where they kind of are okay at times. They've been to, 2 Super Bowls since Aaron Rodgers was drafted, and they lost both of them. So I don't know. I think in the end, Aaron still wins that I guess. Maybe not head to head, of course, but as far as like careers go, I don't know.
Wait, he's won a Super Bowl before though, Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
How many?
One.
One, okay.
And he's only been to one.
Okay.
So he's undefeated in the Super Bowl. He's better.
He's better than Brady.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because Brady's not undefeated.
He's lost more.
He's lost more.
That's logical.
It's very logical.
Can't beat that.
God. Just ask Mike Montana.
Is that your guy? Your commenter?
That idiot. Yeah. And he's so rude to everybody. He's such a jerk off. Yeah. All right. Alrighty. So, guys, thank you so much for being on with us tonight. I know it's late. You guys are just awesome, man. I really appreciate you guys.
Another super chat.
Russell Curie sends a $5 super chat and says Bucks and Bills win. Bet the Vegas line. And that's, I agree with you. That's what I've got tomorrow, too. So hopefully I go 2-0 because that would be very interesting. That music's so intense, dude.
Thrown on you, huh?
I just wish it lasted a little longer. So. All right. So we're going to get off here, I guess. And thank you guys. And we'll see you tomorrow. Then
You're doing
we
a
got
show tomorrow night. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a big day tomorrow. So get to bed, get your rest, because we got a lot of things going on tomorrow. Okay, guys?
We'll be back February 12th with the next MMA show for UFC 271 as well.
Hell yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for being here.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Von Allen Sports.